Okay, so let's see, we're on turn 3. Yeah. And let's watch the replay. Nothing happened. Okay. It's gonna be one of those battles where, well, I'm not surprised because, I mean, after the last battle where he got caught by surprise, by what by my being where he didn't expect it, so he's probably being a little bit more cautious. Which actually makes it harder for me because when he's not cautious, it's easy for me to figure out what he's doing. Okay, so what are we gonna do? I'll check suppression first, and then I'll look around. Maybe I'll spot something. You never know. Formation leaders first. Shouldn't be any suppression, but I'm gonna separate the looking around simply because it's less confusing for me. Yes, it is confusing for me. It's a lot easier to handle one thing at a time. I'm finding. So the formation leaders, there shouldn't be any suppression, of course, because we haven't had any combat yet. That's just played by the book, as they say. I'm not at the stage yet where I can actually skip over things and hope that I haven't missed something. Long way from that, if I'm honest. Alright, so, I want to look around a bit. Excuse me. Suddenly my throat said no. Let's look around a bit. I mean, of course, I expect he has moved up. I mean, the fact I don't see him doesn't mean that he hasn't seen me. Because unfortunately, the way play by mail works is you don't really get to see the entire turn of the opposing player. You only get to see the endpoints of his movement. So he could easily be behind this ridge and just be popping up in his turn, look around, and then pop it back. In fact, he could even come up here now, moving 1 hex, and I am far enough away that I would not see him. He could also be moving up 1 hex at a time here, and I don't. Well, he'd have to start from here because if he started from his start, if he's started at the start line, then 1 hex. He's only in turn 3, it'd be only maybe about here. Still wouldn't be able to see him though. So right now I have no idea where he is and what he's doing. It seems. Okay, so we need to go find him. Otherwise, there's no fun. We need to get to the shooting part. Yes, I actually said that. Because honestly, that is the fun part of the game. I mean, all the tactics and all that stuff all comes down to one thing. Your digital soldiers will be shooting at the other digital soldiers. Let's see. He's out in the open enough, but his line of sight is quite locked. I'm gonna start thinking about moving these guys up, I think. Otherwise, they'll be quite far behind. I don't know where. Have they dug in yet? No, yeah, some of them have. Some of them have dug in. As usual, it's inconsistent. It depends on experience. Okay, so well, these guys would have been spotted. This because if he's popped up here, they would all of these units were moving fast enough in the last turn. There's no way he avoided seeing them. And their line of sight is actually quite restricted, but I mean, visible from here. And the fact that I was moving fast, I think some of these moved 3x's, so yeah, it's not like he doesn't know where I am. So he has all the time in the world to plot my demise as this. This side's a bit more. Nah. Okay, well, I think he's the only one who can see all the way up there. And his line of sight is blocked. Okay, so since he is not moving in plain sight, I'm gonna have to slow down. I'm just laughing because it's just occurred to me like, well, it's probably the first time I've seen him not move. I haven't seen him in the first turn, in the turn 3. I mean, okay, well, no, the second points battle, we didn't see each other till like turn 7 or something, because I was moving up in an area that he didn't expect me to be moving in, so yeah, he didn't go looking for me there until much later. Yes, and so that battle we only found each other by turn 7, which was kind of odd. Okay, so none of these other ones are actually have line of sight to. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of odd. I mean, in every other battle I've seen him by turn 2 or 3. Actually, I mean, in some of them I've seen him in turn 1. So for me not to see him in by turn 3 is quite interesting. But now, so you can see that way. Okay, so now some of these also moved very, very quite fast in the last turn. So don't. Basically, I've given my position away. Well, I have no idea where he is. So there you go. Okay, so in this side, let's zoom in. Now he's way back. I was kind of hoping I'd spot him already, but I mean, I actually was expecting cavalry to come charging through here, so I don't know where they are. I'm still expecting it. No, I think he's seen me, so that's why he's now being much more cautious. So you have a changing plans. The plan was to have these guys move up, but that was based on my having an idea where he was. Because it's open, obviously it's open ground here, and that's not going to be a good thing. So for this turn, I think I'll move these ones up to these trees here. I'll move one of them out. Whoa. It's possible he's moved past me or... No, not possible. No, it's not possible. They would never. They wouldn't have made it. They wouldn't have made it that far. Um, Opportunity fire would have occurred around about there. Yeah. So no, they wouldn't have made it that far. Okay, so where to position the scouts? I think the scouts will move. This is annoying. Well, he's line of sight that way, but that's all I have. Yeah, I need to get him up to the trees here. Because that is not a... I can't see past it. Yeah. So we need to get line of sight past these trees. Because if he's moving up somewhere, could be through there. Because I don't have any way to spot him. If he's moving up along here. Yeah. Okay, but that requires putting him there. He still won't have line of sight around the tree though. Okay, well, I think about that. I'm gonna move the infantry up a bit. They have to move up anyway. Now they will probably move up another hex, maybe. Well, I have to move forward here. At the very least, at least one hex. Now, he still can't see past the trees, so it's not actually helpful. Well, I have no choice. I'll have to put him up here. He will, well, if I assume he knows where I am, then it may not matter. Yeah, we got nothing. Why is there, why can't I see through past there? That's weird. Very, very strange. Why would I not be able to see? Okay, I guess the slope is blocking that. What are we in? We're in height 1. Yeah, so we still got a blind spot there. Okay, so for these ones, I think... not up there. The tree line here is just not, it's not very well defined, so it's kind of difficult to just position, find a good position. Okay, so we may, this might be a change of plans. Might actually have the infantry move up through along this side here, because we can't be seen, and try and get these scouts into a position where they can actually get a better line of sight. Because there's a dead spot here. There's an area I can't see, which is quite frustrating. So you'd have to move up another hex. I don't know if I want to do that this turn. Yeah, but the fact that I don't know, I haven't seen him, it makes me want to move even less. Because now I'm gonna have to move cautiously. I don't have a choice, which I guess is part of the plan. I mean that forces me to slow down because he must know I'm very close to the. I must have started very far forward, so he needs to throw some uncertainty somewhere. Okay, so we're gonna move him here. Whoops. I'm gonna need to zoom out a little bit because I can't tell exactly where I can be seen from here. Okay, I'm gonna have to risk moving these ones another hex. Put him there. And I'll put him there. Now, he's actually not... he can't really be seen from too many places at this point. They'd have to be here already. So I guess this platoon is the one that's going to move up around this side, trying to gain the edge of the side here. So we'll skirt the town a little bit to try and get into there. Could move. I'll probably move some of them through there. The thing is, these are the wrong kinds of infantry, really. I mean, they're regular rifle infantry, so they're not really that useful in towns because they more long range, medium range fighting, I guess, not long range. Whereas in a town you need submachine guns and so on, and they don't really have a lot of that. Engineers would have been a better choice. But who knows? I didn't really know exactly where I was going to maneuver. I hadn't planned it out that carefully, so might not have worked out anyway. So no, these guys will definitely move another hex, I think. He's moving 5, he's moving 5. Okay, so there. Yeah, if there's anything around that's going to spot us, these guys are going to get spotted for sure. So, this infantry will move another. They will move another hex, I think. We might as well try and attract some attention because, might as well try and do it while we're far enough away. Because well, I mean, we'll end up getting hit by mortar fire. That's not good, but. At least that tells me confirm I've been spotted. But that's also makes it less likely to happen. But also I want to get some infantry up where they can actually fire if necessary. Because I'm gonna move this one another hex, I think, so I can get line of sight that way. Yeah, so let's put units up here first. Look around, just in case. Okay, so he's gonna move another hex. Does that help me at all? Yes, it actually does. Yeah, I've got a clear line of sight to that side, but he's now quite exposed there to some long-range fire from those trees. But I'll have to risk it, I guess. I always end up losing scouts. That's how it goes, it seems. I'm actually going to move these ones as well. Let's get them up to the far front here. Alright, yeah, recon here. Oops. Oops, I almost clicked in the wrong spot. Trying to think of when they should move up to. Um, okay, these are height 10. Um, Town is actually on a height 20 in that side. So that's actually a high ground as well. Okay, let's move them towards this high ground here. However, they're quite on their own, so I may need to move the tanks up behind them, just to bring them a little closer. Because in that case, we're moving across here. This flank, there could be, I mean, they're open to attack from this side no matter what. Problem is we can't see anything that way yet. Okay, so let's fix that. I don't think this is actually going to help. Yeah, let's put him here. Okay, now on this side I definitely have no choice but to move up slowly. This is just way too open. And this platoon's now on its own, so which is also that's gonna force me to move these ones up as well, because otherwise they won't have any, they'll be all by themselves, and that's not very useful. Okay, so, what did I just do? I moved him 1 hex. Look around. Well, moving 1 hex is I'm not gonna be able to get there. It's not happening. But, so, doesn't matter. Let's just get to the battle. Well, then give me something to shoot at. But, now, say we're at hex 59 there. This is at 52. That's 8 hexes. No, 7 hexes. So 7 turns. We're on turn 3. Actually, I mean, we could get there moving 1 hex at a time. Chances are we're going to get stopped somewhere before that. So chances of actually taking those are pretty slim. Well, I mean, I could charge in, but I don't really feel like doing that. The problem with doing that is he could pop up and then take me out, right? I'm pretty sure he's behind here now, possibly even behind here, because now all he needs to do is move up onto this hill very slowly, and I wouldn't know he's there. I mean, he could even be moving along the road. With infantry, I mean, not with vehicles. So, yeah, okay. Now, only question is whether to move up 1 or 2 hexes. I mean, I don't want to give my position away by a lot. They... Well, I moved the scouts 1, so they are in a good situation to actually spot if something fires at me. Let's see, so we can see there. Well, let's just move them up 1 and then see what happens. I mean, 1 turn 3, so usually by turn 3 you have to start slowing down anyway. Unless you're like really have a lot of tree cover or some concealment between you and the enemy. So I'm not really seriously considering moving faster here. But it's funny how I deployed so far forward and yet I'm still forced to slow down quite early. Okay, so this platoon is quite out of formation at the moment. We may move him another one. No. Put him there. Okay, well. Now, we'll just close in on it and see what happens. I mean, really, can't really worry about it too much. I gotta get used to just getting my forces moving as at the best speed possible under the conditions. I mean, right now, the side none of these guys will be able to move. I don't know how my opponent can do that. I mean, I suspect well, one of two possibilities. He's doing it intentionally to see if he can draw some attack, which of course is legitimate. I mean, that's reasonable, which is why I'm thinking of moving these 2 more, because the scouts have moved to 1. Right, scouts have moved only 1, so they're in a good shape to see anybody who shoots at them, because that's moving very fast won't spot well. So I'm really actually looking at it as maybe should move another hex here, just to try and get a response. But we'll see. Okay, and this I'm going to think about that for a moment. Well, on this side, I want to start moving up as well because it's not gonna be in this platoon any good to be all on their own. And so the question is what direction to take. There's absolutely no concealment, so if they move up, they will be moving up slowly. But again, might be worthwhile moving up 2 X's with the infantry. Just to give them, just so I can provoke a response. Well, which will actually teach me something about how, because when I see moving around very fast, I don't respond. I don't attack them unless I can get, unless they're close enough to a unit that I can get a good suppression on them. But firing from a great distance is just not worth it, usually. But it'll show me whether he thinks it's actually worth it. So, but I think also there's this one, maybe I'm thinking about it incorrectly, is that if you fire at them, then that slows them down, right? I mean, they now will have to move a little bit more cautiously because they may not. There's enemies close by. Okay, so the question is where to move them. The only place that's useful The only direction that's probably useful is along this side. I move them along the road, then they approaching that. They'll be out in the open. The only cover that's available before we get there is that. I don't think this provides any cover at all. Alright, so let's see. The terrain defense. Fields. I guess that'd be plowed fields. That's not. So, I mean, we have entrenched, excellent, very good, good, fair, and plowed fields are in fair. That's pretty far down. So. And of course, if there's any armor moving up along this side, well, I mean, that's how it's going to have to be, I guess. I mean, that's why I deployed my armor on this side of the map, because it's a little bit more open. You should expect the tanks on this side, in theory. Movement rates. No. Why am I looking in movement rates? No, don't need it. Don't need anything in there. Okay, so, yeah, it's time to start moving these ones up. That's given. I just don't know where to start to send them through. The field is not very good. The mixed is probably even worse. Mixed is poor. So as little cover as that provides, we might as well use that. Okay, so we're going to move up that way. Now, we'll have scouts moving that way. We can actually see pretty far into there, so that's not too bad. So we'll move him off the road. Or do we move him along the road? No, we'll move him on this side. We'll move him on the edge of that. We'll only move one, though. And this infantry will move up. So the question is, do I move? Yeah, let's move them. I'm gonna move these guys 2x's. Let's see what happens. Because I'm fairly certain I'm being observed. But if I slow down too much, then I guess that doesn't achieve anything either. So, we'll move him one. We'll just move him one, and we'll keep them ahead of that platoon leader. So that's enough. We'll move him one, move them two. See if that gets any attention. So he's still in visual contact with all of them, and we'll put him there. Okay, start trying to move too predictably as well, because that'll make it easier for him to drop mortars on me. It's a terrible line of sight because of the height 1 here. I love how the random map generator just throws height 1 areas, just scatters them around just to make life annoying. I mean, it provides you with some concealment to a certain extent, which is the good part, but it really throws off line of sight quite a lot. Like height 1, I'm not sure why it even exists. Now I'm a little bit worried about this side because now there's nothing really protecting this area. I mean, the plan was to have these guys actually stay here, and so I may need to spread this. I think I may spread this platoon out a bit more and have them move up to there, and then move on to there rather than, because they should be able to get across here, I think. But again, I mean that's not good, because then, you know, if there's any cavalry or anything moving up on that side, I won't have anything to stop them. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it develops. Okay, I think I'm done with the infantry movement. Let's move some vehicles around. Okay, so what is our line of sight? Well, if it's been spotted from there, I definitely do not want to leave it in one place for more than a turn. Now, okay, if those infantry are going to move up, then these have to move up as well, because otherwise they're not going to be very helpful from way back there. What can you actually see from here? Not a hell of a lot. Can't actually see over that, unfortunately. Why is there why is there a plowed field around a intersection? Kind of, the random maps are kind of weird. Because they can't really hit anything from that distance. That's the problem. Yeah, the question is, I don't know where that's what I'm trying to figure out, where to send them, because they need to be able to get line of sight, and there isn't any really good places here. Okay, well, I'll move him up to here. Okay, so, right, so Kulvagen, where shall we park him? Also put him back here, I think. Okay, well, his machine gun can help if necessary. Um, okay, that's good. Now, I doubt that's one that is as good because it can be seen from there. Okay, but we can't be seen from up there, so that's a good start. Because I'm just trying to take advantage of the fact that I moved across there, but you wouldn't see that. Like you only see the endpoints of the enemy's movement, so you don't know if you don't know. Like if you can't see it at the when at the end of the enemy's turn, then it's basically not there. um, so we'll see. But I mean, it depends, right? I mean, I doubt that if he had somebody over there at this point, that'd be scary. But possible. I mean, it's not out of the question. It could be a cavalry unit or something, because it could, in theory, moved up to the build between the buildings, I guess. Um, I think cavalry can move through the town of building X's. I think never actually tested that. Uh, and actually, now that I think about it, I've never actually used cavalry in the game. Well, when I start playing the other nations, I mean, I'm gonna have to try them out and see how they work. I mean, the Germans have them too, so I could actually use them here if I wanted to. They were actually quite common in the early part of the war. Yeah, okay, so I think we're done. I don't. Oh, here. These units have not moved. Do I need to move them? That mortar can stay there. That mortar can stay there. Um, one, let's put him there. Move that forward. Let's see what are the chances of being spotted here. Quite high. I mean, if he's moved up that far already. Yeah, well, we'll move them forward slowly and see what happens. I don't see any reason to rush that right now. The company's getting split up again, and I'm not happy with that. 1,000 points. That's what I'm struggling with. I really like the rifle company as a unit, but it's too small. Like I think I would really like to have another platoon, a detached platoon, possibly engineers or something, not necessarily rifle, but because that my the force balance just isn't suiting me at 1,000 points. Not ready to move up to a higher number yet. I just want to play a few more 1,000 point battles. Okay, so you should move somewhere. I'm gonna move him. He's actually on a slope. I'm actually gonna put him back here. He actually has line of sight all the way over there and there. It's not great, but it's better than nothing at the moment, so I'm going to leave him there. However, I do need him to rally things, so this is the problem with sending this platoon over here, because if they basically they've become separated from the HQ, so the company HQ. So he's more likely to move over here because there's 3 platoons there, and these guys basically figure it out for yourself if you get into trouble, right? And that's all. That's why I think it's a good idea to have this other platoon move up to support them. But I mean they're in the open, so it's not really a good situation at all. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. Very slow turn for me. I mean, I have to take my time, otherwise, it's at this point, right? Because right now, my opponent's play is completely different than usual. Well, than the way he's been playing against me so far. I wouldn't know whether that's usual or not. Probably not. He's just playing against an inexperienced player and testing what he can get away with. Which went a little bit wrong in the last battle, but he still got the victory, so what does it matter? But his losses were quite high. So now he's going the other direction. Must be really cautious and basically forcing me to ferret him out, basically, so I can get to the battle pod without taking too many losses before I get to the battle pod. Okay, I think I'm done. So what am I going to do here? I move these up. I think that's useful. I mean, these platoons need firepower because they are in the open. If any armor shows up, behind the trees they should be all right for the time being. He's out in the open, but that's not a bad thing because if he gets shot at, we'll at least know we've been spotted. But it'll be shot at from something quite far away, so it's not likely to destroy it. Maybe. It's not that far, so it could be a problem. We'll see. We'll see. Check ranges, I guess, just to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move. Gonna leave this platoon basically here. So well, as usual, I'm spread pretty thin here, so I don't know. Since he hasn't shown me any units yet. I have no idea where he's moving up, so I can't really make a decision. I can't really commit too far, too far ahead. So I'm really feeling that this has opened up a gap here. But for him to move up through the buildings is actually a pretty good idea. And if he attacks out of the buildings, then that's difficult. So I may actually want to move them up into the buildings now instead. Change of plan. Just have them take positions in there. From there, we may be able to move up and take those if opportunity came up, but I doubt it. But there's actually not that much cover here. The 3 line is very broken up here, so actually being in the buildings may be better. We'll see. Ever-changing plans. Okay. Let's continue with checking ranges. I move those a little bit faster. We'll see if that gets any attention. I doubt it. I mean, I think the correct thing is to not react to it, because obviously you're giving your position away. However, I'm out in the open. It's pretty obvious direction I'm moving. I probably won't do it again. Well, I might with a different unit. We'll see. Just try and get a response while we're still quite far away. Okay, so now my next turn I must see. If I don't see anything my next turn, okay, well then it's going to be a very, very different battle than any of the previous ones. Very different. Which means it'll actually be tougher for me because it will mean I have to actually move forward and do all that reconnaissance stuff and things like that, you know? Well, there's not enough time, really. I mean, we're on turn 3, and maybe two more turns of reconnaissance, and so I think that's probably about it. By that point, we should have run into each other already. But 15 turns is not a long battle. It's intended to be a short battle, but you have to squeeze all of the normal things you do, reconnaissance and slow advance. You can't with infantry anyway. You can't do that differently, no matter how few turns you have. So really, gaining the victory X's is really gravy at that point. Okay, well, that looks like it. Do we get any artillery in the turn? No artillery. No artillery today.